Of course, people come up and ask me, what is Explore Mars? And I always find myself really hard to explain what we are, because we're not one thing, we are many things. It's the sum of all our projects and conferences, that's what we are. And all these things that we do must further the cause of boots on Mars, regardless what it is. So what we do is pushing for training for Mars, pushing for needed technology development. Life support systems need to be more robust. We try to get better, more versatile, comfortable EVA suits. We join up with any other new research that we might be able to, push along a bit more or help funding or whatever. We incite the public. At least that's what you're trying to do, to get them, moving on Washington to tell the politicians to get us off the ground to Mars. We try to interest our youth for various reasons, because it's good for the economy, it's good for the young people if they find their passion. Let's face it, most of us here work for their passion, not just for a paycheck, and life is much easier if you have a passion in what you do. So those things is what we do. It's also basically trying to move a mountain. If you try to move the political leadership anywhere on this planet, that's moving a mountain to let the political leadership allow to Mars preparation and to give it a decent funding. And apparently, we have moved some of that mountain because the NASA leadership, this conference, did announce that this is the path, and the human spaceflight path is going to Mars. That's great news. It could be said out in the public. For me, that was a great moment. I bet for some of you, you realize that was a great moment too. So we are also doing small projects like Exolens, which we are going to talk about today. And these projects and these things we do, of course, like I said, it's for boots on Mars, but it's also to know things, to close the gaps in the knowledge that we have of Mars, but we don't have. So Exolens is actually there to answer a profound question. Mars, do you have life, or did you have ever life? That's what we are asking. Chris.
Yeah, I'll come up here just so I can read my... Good morning again. This has been a growth year, as was last year for Explore Mars. As you've probably noticed, we're doing an awful lot of programs. We are quite busy. We seem to be everywhere, and that's a good thing. So right now, we've been doing an awful lot of policy work, doing a lot of STEM work, and as you're going to hear in a second, we're starting technical projects as well. But on the political side, we've been very active, as a nonprofit, being able to go out and educate Congress and others. I think we've been very effective with our Mars Days on the Hill. We're going to do one again tomorrow, going up the Hill with our talking points, basically bringing the message that we had from this conference and a lot of the progress that's been made over the last several months, and kind of fortify that message on the Hill, make sure we kind of build on that message. And a lot of this is coming from a project many of you are aware of also that we've partnered with the American Astronautical Society on, is Affording Mars. Back in December, we partnered with them to bring the community together, determined basically 3 facts. First off, do we all agree that Mars is the destination that we want to focus on, regardless if you believe we should go to an asteroid first, the moon, or anything else? But is Mars that overarching goal? And we got from this wide range of stakeholders within the community, absolutely yes. Everybody agreed on that. Second question we asked, is it feasible? This was a little more complicated. But after a lot of discussion back and forth, and a lot of people in this audience, as I'm sure Joe will agree, were fairly conservative as well, very cautious, as engineers and scientists should be. But in the end, they all said, yes, this is absolutely feasible by the 2030s. So that was another check off the list. Most complicated question, is this affordable? Now that was obviously the most complicated of all questions. Can we get to Mars within constrained budgets? And we went back and forth. The first day I thought there was no way this group was going to say this is affordable. There was, everybody was pushing back and saying maybe we shouldn't land, or maybe we should push landing off for a decade. But I was amazed as the progress of this workshop went along, the transformation. After looking at all the various options out there, all the interesting new roadmaps and architecture plans, virtually not everybody, there wasn't complete unity, but the vast majority of the group agreed this can be done affordably. So that was just the first step in many that we're going to be doing, following up over the years. And we're going to be doing another Mars poll coming up, and as you know, as I mentioned before, H2M 2015. We're doing the Teaching Mars workshops, at least 2 or 3 more this year, that bring STEM educators, teach them how to put Mars into the classroom. So it's not just an astronomy class, but actually integrated into the classroom. And as Joe's going to tell you, we're also involved in the Exploration Design Challenge as well. So we've been very busy with STEM. And as Joe mentioned, Joe's going to mention in a couple seconds, going to talk about our new project, Exolance. And as you heard the other day, we also have Time Capsule to Mars that's becoming part of Explore Mars. So we are extremely busy, and we actually need your help. After you hear Joe, and we'll hear more about it throughout the day as well, we'd love your suggestions. We'd love your help trying to help us achieve these goals. And quite frankly, I'll be quite blunt, if you know of people who might be able to help fund our projects, that would be extremely helpful as well, because all of this isn't cheap. We're doing extraordinary work, so we definitely need your help. But I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to let Joe start talking about Exolance. This is a pre-announcement. We're going to launch the website probably next week, and we'll have a formal press conference of some sort very soon.